Hello and welcome to my WWE Payback 2017 predictions video. Right, now quickly, because I don't do these as often as I should, let me just quickly run through what I'm going to do. I'm going to run through the entire WWE Payback match card. I'm going to talk about what I think they're going to do with each match, like in terms of the result on the night, and potentially a bit of forward booking if it's apparent to me, if it's obvious. I'm also going to talk about what I'd like them to do in an ideal world, and also I'm going to be playing footage from yesterday's WWE 2K17 match simulations underneath, and potentially, if I remember anything about it, because I don't have them in front of me, talking about those as well, just for a little bit of fun. So I'm on WWE.com on their page for Payback, and I'm going to be working bottom to top because that starts with the kickoff match. So I don't know the match order, obviously no one does, maybe Vince, but I'm just going to talk about it in that order. So starting off with the kickoff show. Now obviously we have Miz TV with Finn Balor. I assume they're going to set up some sort of angle between Miz and Finn Balor, which is interesting, odd, to say the least, unless someone else is going to get involved, but that's that. I don't want to predict anything about that because it's just genuinely fantasy booking at that point, like what you think they're going to do when it's a completely open book. Really, anyone could appear on that with Finn Balor. The first match on the kickoff show, well, the only match on the kickoff show that I can see, is Enzo and Big Cass against Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. What would I like to happen? I think Gallows and Anderson should win, purely because the tag title match is basically between two face teams. So I think they would, even though this isn't an official number one contender match, I think it would make sense to have this be effectively a number one contender match. And it would make sense to then go with a heel team, because face versus face only generally works when it's like a huge match, when it's like a Rock Cena match. I know Cena got booed, but that was still face versus face, or Shawn Michaels Undertaker. I don't think it works that well for smaller time matches, so it's good. It's okay as a one-off for the tag titles, but I think they should go with Gallows and Anderson. Who do I think they'll go with? I think that's fairly logical. I think they'll go for Gallows and Anderson. My prediction's Gallows and Anderson. I don't actually remember who won on the 2K17 simulation. I recorded those quite a few days ago now, but it'll be on the screen right now. So tomorrow in the review, in the pay-per-view review that I'll put up, I'll compare who was right the most between me and the game. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. But I'm going predicting Gallows and Anderson. There's the Miz TV thing that I've already talked about. Okay, now the next match that appears as I scroll up WWE.com on the Payback page is the Cruiserweight Championship match between Neville and Austin Aries, which hopefully will be on the main show. A lot of people complained about it being on the kickoff show for WrestleMania. I sort of understood why. It was a very, very, very busy card at WrestleMania, and what else were you going to drop to the kickoff show instead of it? You know, the Lesnar Goldberg, like Rollins Triple H, you know, what, the Hardys coming back, like what are you going to drop? Maybe the women's match, but let's be honest, they moved the women's match onto near the end of the main card, not because the internet was in uproar, because the internet was in uproar about the Cruiserweight title match as well, but because Naomi's entrance, and she was going to win, and Naomi's entrance requires it to be dark. There, that's why. Anyway, moving on to Payback. I think this could be Austin Aries' night. They were right to not put the title on him straight away at WrestleMania, because that didn't do him or the title or Neville any favours, but I think now might be the right time. Now they've built up a little bit more of a feud. Also now potentially Aries could go on to face Perkins, TJ Perkins, for a bit of a change. You know, now that he's kind of going heel, going rogue, I don't know. Or they could swerve us, have Neville retain, and then TJ turn back on Neville and stay face, you know, because he's sort of turned heel, but with Neville's influence, not of his own accord yet. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. I think Aries will win. I want Aries to win. And once again, I can't remember who the game picked. Later on, I do remember certain things about the gameplay, but for some reason, the first couple of matches, can't remember anything. But it'll be on the screen for you guys to watch now. Also, don't forget to let me know in the comment section who you think should win, who you think will win, etc., and why in the comment section down below. Let's have a bit of a conversation about this. The next up is the Raw Women's Championship match between Bayley and Alexa Bliss. Now, if I remember rightly, the game thought that Alexa Bliss was going to win. Spoilers, because that's probably not on screen yet. But you should have seen it yesterday anyway, so not really spoilers. I personally think Bayley's going to win, because I think they're going to keep the belt on Bayley up until the rumoured SummerSlam match with Sasha Banks, where they're going to do like a slow turn with Sasha, and she's eventually going to get a shot at SummerSlam. I think they could do something a lot better by taking the title off Bayley here and putting it on Alexa, and then they could have Bayley chasing Alexa, because sometimes I think the face challenger chasing the heel champion works so much better. And what they do is they have Bayley chase Alexa, and I don't even know how many Raw pay-per-views there are between now and SummerSlam, but there's got to be a few. We're still in April until the end of today, aren't we? So until the end of the show. So there's got to be quite a few pay-per-views for Bayley to try and win the title back from Alexa and get cheated out of it, or dodgy endings and stuff like that. And then on the show before SummerSlam, the pay-per-view before SummerSlam, Bayley wins and Sasha comes out and celebrates with it. Or maybe even Sasha helps Bayley win it, because Alexa's been cheating and Sasha comes evening up the odds. And then after she wins, she turns on Bayley, and that sets up the match. And I think that would be better personally, but I don't see that being how they're going to go. My official prediction is that Bayley's going to win, but I think it would be better if Alexa Bliss won. Let me know in the comment section what you agree with, what you disagree with. Next up, the Tag Team Championship match. And I am rattling through these. I'm going to talk about them as much as I feel appropriate. Like, if I have something to say that takes 10 minutes for one match, then sorry, you're going to have to sit here for 10 minutes and listen to me talk about the match. If I only have 30 seconds worth of prediction, that's all that's going to happen. Like, I don't see any point in cutting stuff out the video that I wanted to say. I also don't see any point in expanding on a match beyond what I realistically have to say, if that makes sense. So anyway, we are on to the Tag Team Championship match. Hardy Boys versus Sheamus and Cesaro. I think it makes very, very little sense to take the belts off the Hardys so soon. However, if I remember rightly, didn't the Hardys win both singles matches on the previous 2 weeks of Raw? So that led to handshakes. So, I mean, potentially, could we see Cesaro and Sheamus sort of snap and turn on the Hardys, turn heel during the match and win the title through nefarious ways? And that would mess up my prediction for the Gallows and Anderson match, wouldn't it? It'd make Enzo and Cass the winners. But that's by the by. When that match happens, looking at facing a face team, but that doesn't stop anything changing. But I just... Unless the way I would see that going is they turn Sheamus and Cesaro heel, they cheat to win, they win the rematch. So there's plenty of time to make Enzo and Cass the #1 contenders after that. So it doesn't matter if Gallows and Anderson win tonight. And the way I would see that playing out is that would almost be confirmation for me that they've got hold of the Broken Matt character. They've come to terms with TNA on being able to use that character, and they're potentially going to either split the Hardys or go a very different route that doesn't necessarily revolve around being the champions and being the Hardy Boys, quote, being more Broken Matt and Brother Nero. I'd be all for that. I'd love to see that on the WWE stage. I think that's what's going to happen if Cesaro and Sheamus win. I think the game, off the top of my head, predicted a Hardy Boys win, with Matt Hardy's dodgy Create a Superstar that I found. But the most popular one didn't have a move set up, and I couldn't be bothered setting up my own move set, if I'm honest. So I just downloaded the most popular one that had a moveset, which I think was the second most popular one, actually. But the face isn't that great. The Jeff Hardy looks awesome, though. Anyway, enough about the Creative Superstars on TK17 from yesterday. The game's going with the Hardy Boys. I'm inclined to agree. It might be a little bit of a swerve because classic WWE booking tells you whoever's got the upper hand going into the pay-per-view match loses. But I think the Hardys should and will win this match. So, there you go. Next match, United States Championship. Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. I feel like this one's pretty obvious. I also feel like the game might have predicted a Jericho win. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you'll find out when we get to the end of talk about this match and it shows up on the screen, so keep watching. But I think this is pretty cut and dry. This is going to be Owens. They've already started building Owens versus Styles on SmackDown. Another thing is Jericho's probably not going to be sticking around for much longer because he's got a Fozzy tour, so putting a title on him doesn't make a lot of sense. Although he could lose it to Styles in a couple of weeks at Oh, a few weeks. It's a few weeks away, isn't it? Wait, let me have a look. 1, 2... Yeah, 3 weeks away at Backlash. But honestly, they've done Jericho Styles last year. I personally wasn't the biggest fan of Jericho versus Styles. I know a lot of people would consider that blasphemy. I just don't think it was as good as I would have expected Jericho versus Styles to be on any of the occasions they met. So I think Owens is winning this and staying on SmackDown and going on to defend the title against AJ in a few weeks. I think that's what should happen. I think that's what will happen. I think that's pretty clear cut. I think the game went with Jericho, but that'll probably be on the screen round about now. So you will see whether I'm right or wrong. Anyway, moving on. The next match on the card, according to WWE.com, is Rollins versus Joe. Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe. This is a tough one. This is a tough one from what they should do. Because Seth Rollins is obviously hot right now. He's just coming off a clean win over Triple H. I mean, it was a no disqualification match, so Steph being involved doesn't make it not a clean win. He's just coming off a clean win against Triple H at WrestleMania and got his redemption, if you like. But Joe's new to the roster and they're trying to build... They seem to be trying to build Joe, but they've backed themselves into a bit of a corner because both guys really could do winning this. Unless they go into some sort of no finish, which is a bit disappointing on a pay-per-view. You do that on Raw. It has been known to happen, though, and it's not the main event. As far as I know, it's not going to close the show, so maybe that's what will happen. I can't even remember which way the game predicted. I'm genuinely struggling for a prediction. Let me know in the comments what you think for this match down below. I think Rollins will win. I think that's the more obvious answer at the moment. As for who I think should win, I think maybe a no finish is the best result, honestly. Just because they can fight to a double count out or a double disqualification, and they can basically both come out of this looking fairly strong. And obviously one of them will get the upper hand in the brawl, but that's not the same as pinning someone or making them submit. You know, it's not as decisive. So I think Rollins will win. I think no one should win. Honestly, let me know what you think of that in the comment section. Right now. Next match, I really want to talk about this. The WWE Champion against Bray Wyatt. The WWE Champion is in a pay-per-view match and not defending the title. Problem number one. Problem number two with that is, to me, it kind of makes the result a little bit predictable. Because... Or maybe they're trying to make it less predictable. Put it this way, I think if the title's on the line, Orton wins. Because Bray's moved to Raw, there's no sign of Lesnar moving to SmackDown. They're not going to have both world titles on Raw. So... I think if the title's on the line, Orton wins to keep the title on SmackDown. I think what's going to happen here, because we don't have any depiction of the rules, so I just did a no holds barred match, that's what it's called, on 2K17 for my match simulation yesterday. I think Orton won. Did he? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It'll be on the screen. My prediction is a Wyatt win. And I think... I mean, Orton's going to be coming in because of what happened this week on SmackDown without the belt, which is interesting. They made it a non-title match, and he's going to be coming in without the belt. The guy who's holding the belt at the moment, who's not the champion, but Jinder Mahal has the physical belt, isn't booked on the show. I think Jinder Mahal shows up with the title and distracts Orton, and Bray picks up the win. I think this match is just going to build towards the WWE title match between Orton and Jinder Mahal, which I can't believe I'm saying. At Backlash, is Jinder Mahal even on 2K17?
Nope.
I might need to create a superstar for the #1 contender for the WWE title. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, I think Bray Wyatt's going to win. I think that's a good call. I think that's good booking. It builds up the feud between Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal. It gives Bray Wyatt a little bit of momentum that he definitely lost basically since winning the WWE title, which is strange for it to go down that way. So, yeah, I think Bray Wyatt should and will win, both with the help of Jinder Mahal and potentially his other boys that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. And we're already at the main event, which is, wow, that's gone quick. I was expecting this to be probably more like a half-hour video, but it's only going to be maybe 15 to 20 minutes by the time I've talked about the main event and done a little bit of an outro and reminded you 20 more times to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Right, main event. I think this will go on last. I think this is at the top of the list for a reason. I think if you win the main event of WrestleMania and then go to the next pay-per-view and aren't the main event, I think that's a bit strange. So, Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Bit of exposure for Braun on the main event of pay-per-views. Who do I think should win? I think Braun Strowman should win. I think they've got something special in Braun Strowman that at first, when he came in the Wyatt family, no one realised they had. But he's put in a hell of a lot of work. He's developed his character. He's developed his in-ring ability. Even his mic skills, to an extent, is more of the complete package than Roman Reigns, if you ask me. And I'm not a big Roman Reigns hater. I just don't think he's all that Vince McMahon thinks he is either. I'm sort of in between the two sides, in between the, the quote IWC that hate him, and in between Vince McMahon who love him. I'm somewhere in the middle where I don't think he's as bad as they say. I don't think he's as good as he says. I think he's somewhere in between. Classic WWE booking though, I've already said they might go against it once with the Hardys, is Reigns has been mauled by Strowman, tipped over in an ambulance and stuff like that. But then Braun Strowman lost to Kalisto on Raw in a dumpster match. I was going to say you can't write this stuff, but someone did. So it's hard because neither are really coming in looking that strong. I mean, Braun obviously looks strong. He's just thrown an ambulance around, so he obviously looks pretty strong in the literal sense. But he just lost to Kalisto as well, admittedly by fluke and due to the rules and blah blah blah. Not in a clean 1-2-3 match. I think Braun should win. I think you can't bet against Roman Reigns in real life WWE though. I think I have to predict Roman Reigns to win. I will be happy to be wrong with this one. I genuinely will, because I think Braun definitely 100% should win. I don't think it's going to hurt Reigns to lose a match when they can build up how injured he is going into it. Even though he came back at 2 days later at a house show, I don't think he's been really seen on TV. Was he on Raw this week? I can't remember. I think Braun should win. I don't think he will. I don't think Reigns is losing between now and the end of his career, to be honest. I don't think you ever bet against Roman Reigns at the moment. So they're my predictions. So let me just let's do a recap. I think I predicted Gallows and Anderson, although I may have changed my mind, but I'm going to stick with what I said. Gallows and Anderson for the first match. Aries for the Cruiserweight title. Bailey, I predicted, and these are the results I'm predicting, not what I think should happen. So Gallows and Anderson, Aries, Bailey, Hardys, I think will win. Owens, Rollins, Wyatt, and Reigns. That's my predictions. Let me know in the comment section down below what yours are. If you want to just leave a list of the 8 winners, feel free. If you want to give me a bit more of a fleshed out paragraph of why you think everyone's going to win the matches and what you think is going to happen going forwards and stuff, that is absolutely fine as well. That's great. Either way, I'll try and reply and keep the interactivity going in the comment section. So let me know down below what you think is going to happen. Are you going to be watching it live tonight? If you are, I will be, and will probably be live tweeting the whole thing. So follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description. Or if you are watching on something where you can't see the description, it's just at Ibeza Plays Games. So same as my channel name. My main channel name, I should say. This is going up on my WWE channel, so it's not the same as my channel name. Duh. Anyway, yes, it's at Ibeza, as in my channel name minus the 2 W's at the beginning. Plays Games, all one word. And I will see you on Twitter to talk about the pay-per-view as it happens and have a little bit of a laugh at its expense when it's appropriate. But for now, all I have left to say is thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been Ibeza, you've been amazing, and I will see you next time.